are badass women of Herstory. So, we've all heard of Amelia Earhart, right? But have you heard, because I hadn't until today, about the actual first female pilot to pilot a plane? Well, that was, and I don't know how to say this name correctly because I don't know French, Raymonde de Laroche. Raymonde de Laroche was a French pilot thought to be the first woman to pilot a plane. I know I'm saying that wrong. Raymonde. I mean, that's Raymond, right? She became the world's first licensed female pilot on the 8th of March, 1910. 100 years ago. 101 years ago, some shit. She received the 36th aeroplane pilot license issued by the Aero Club de France, the world's first organization to issue pilot licenses. Yo, the French was on some dope shit in the early 1900s. Yo, they the first ones up in the air. They helped us become America, and they were the first ones up in the air. Shout out to the France. So she was born Elise Raymonde de Roche. So because it talks about this in this little article right here. It's not that long. Because she changes her name for some reason. Just like me. What? I just connected. So this little part's from Wikipedia. At that time, pilot licenses were only required for pilots operating aircraft for commercial purposes. She was born August 22nd, 1882 in Paris, France, and died July 18th, 1919. Le Crotoy at Le Crotoy Airfield, France. Alright. So from Baha'i Teachings, Baha'iTeachings.org, BAHAITEACHING. Oh shit, it's low power mode. Okay. Teachings.org. So several versions of her name and birth date exist, as well as stories of why she decided to become a pilot. The most often cited date of birth is August 22nd, 1882, i.e. the Wikipedia one that I just read. Her birth name is listed both as Elise Raymonde de Roche and Elise Roche. When she became an actress and singer, she changed her name, given variously as Raymonde de la Roche / de la Roche, which is it's the same, but they just put it together differently. It's like de la Roche or de la Roche, like La Roche is put together. Anyway, Elise de Roche / de la Roche, Baroness, Baron, Madame de la Roche. But to this article, we'll call her the Baroness, because you know the Red Baron? Well, she's the Baroness. A sports-involved child, not like me, but I did play soccer. I played some shit, but I wasn't great. A teen who loved motorcycles and automobiles. Hey, we were just talking about motorcycles earlier. And a young adult balloonist. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming she went in hot air balloons. Very cool. She next fancied learning to fly a plane. Her instructor, Charles Voisin, along with his brother Gabriel, owned one of the world's first aircraft manufacturing businesses. After she learned to fly, she participated in air shows at Heliopolis in Egypt, Budapest, Hungary, Rome, France, and St. Petersburg, Russia. In the latter, Tsar Nicholas II congratulated her personally. Shout out to Roma. I bet he knows all about Nicholas II. There she was introduced as Baroness, and the title stuck. Damn, the mosquito's still stuck. Me, even though I sprayed. On July 8, 1910, her plane crashed during a show in Reims, France. So severe were her injuries that she was not expected to recover. But the determined young woman surprised everyone, and 2 years later was back in the cockpit, which is a weird name. And if she's in it, they probably shouldn't call it a cockpit, because it was probably called a cockpit if it was just a dude in there, right? I don't know. So we call it the vagina pit, which is cool, right? That sounds cool. But the pit makes it sound like vagina pit. But it's that's not what the dick pit is. It's just a pit for a dude with a, I don't know. Anyway, we'll call it what it's called, cockpit. That same year, she suffered further fucking injuries in a car crash that killed Voisin, her instructor. Again, she healed and returned to flying. She did not let that, see that humans are we have superpowers, because we can fucking heal. Now, some things will kill us, but we can heal a lot of stuff. And that's fucking incredible. I dropped it. Ooh, make sure I don't see my underoos. All right. Get back to it. On November 25th, 1913, the Baroness won the Feminine Cup from the Aero Club of France. It's so weird. It's so hard to sit up so fucking straight. For a flight that lasted over 4 hours. She went on to set 3 records, in parentheses says for women pilots, 2 for altitude, 1 of which reached, why do they have to put it for women pilots? Whatever. She went on to set 3 records, 2 for altitude, 1 of which reached a height of 15,700 feet, and 1 for distance, having flown 201 miles. Ironically, during World War I, she chauffeured officers from the rear zones to the front, at times under enemy fire, because it was considered too dangerous for women to be pilots. Yeah, ironic. In her quest to become the first professional woman test pilot, she headed to Le Crotoy, where she and a co-pilot took to the air in an experimental plane on July 18th, 1919. It is unknown which of them was piloting the craft when it crashed, killing them both. I started thinking about food and hunger and shit. I don't know why I read it like that. She died 1 month short of her 37th birthday. She was young. A statue of Baroness Raymonde de Laroche stands at Paris's Le Bourget Airport. Damn, that's pretty wild.